The world has always admired warriors, people who face chaos head-on, who thrive under pressure, and who refuse to be defeated. But true warriors aren't just made on battlefields, they're forged in the fires of everyday challenges. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. For them, life itself was the ultimate battlefield, and their philosophy wasn't just about surviving, it was about becoming unstoppable. To the Stoics, being unstoppable wasn't about physical strength or brute force. It was about mastering the mind. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." For him, true power came from within. It wasn't about controlling others or circumstances, it was about controlling your reactions, your thoughts, and your choices. Imagine a soldier standing in the middle of a storm, calm and steady while the world around them falls apart. That's the essence of Stoic strength, the ability to remain unshaken in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of history's greatest Stoic warriors, often reminded himself of this. In his private writings, he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But how do we apply this in our lives? How do we adopt the mindset of a Stoic warrior? It starts with understanding the dichotomy of control, a central concept in Stoicism. The Stoics taught that there are things within our control, our thoughts, actions, and choices, and things outside our control, like other people's opinions, the weather, or unexpected events. By focusing only on what you can control, you become unshakable. Imagine waking up to bad news, maybe you lost an opportunity, or someone disappointed you. A Stoic warrior wouldn't waste time complaining or blaming. Instead, they'd ask, "What can I do about this right now? How can I move forward?" This mental shift transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Speaking of growth, are you ready to take your mindset to the next level? If this resonates with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to The Inner Gold. Every week, we dive into timeless Stoic wisdom to help you become unstoppable in your own life. Let's build a community of modern warriors together. Now, let's talk about resilience, the heart of what makes a warrior truly unstoppable. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure or pain, it's about embracing it. For the Stoics, every challenge was a chance to strengthen their inner fortress. As Seneca put it, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. The Stoics didn't fear adversity, they welcomed it. They knew that struggles weren't obstacles but stepping stones. Every setback was a chance to prove their strength, refine their character, and move closer to their goals. This is the mindset of a warrior, seeing every challenge as a gift. Resilience, to the Stoics, wasn't just about enduring hardships, it was about transforming them into fuel for growth. Imagine facing a challenge that feels insurmountable. The typical reaction might be to avoid it, complain, or feel defeated. But the Stoic warrior embraces a different mindset. This is an opportunity. This is training. Marcus Aurelius had a powerful way of framing obstacles. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the foundation of the Stoic warrior's mindset. Obstacles are not barriers, they are tools. Every setback, every failure, every disappointment is a chance to grow stronger. Take, for example, a modern-day struggle, losing a job, failing a project, or experiencing rejection. While these events might seem like the end of the road, the Stoic warrior sees them differently. Losing a job becomes a chance to develop new skills. A failed project becomes a lesson in resilience. Rejection becomes a reminder to rely on internal validation rather than external approval. This mindset doesn't come naturally, it's something you build over time. Seneca advised his students to prepare for challenges by practicing voluntary discomfort. He encouraged them to step outside their comfort zones intentionally, whether by fasting, enduring cold weather, or living simply for a time. Why? Because by facing smaller struggles willingly, you train yourself to handle larger ones with grace. In today's world, this might look like pushing through a tough workout, having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or challenging yourself to learn a new skill. Each act of voluntary discomfort builds mental toughness. It's like forging armor for your mind. Every layer makes you more resilient, more unstoppable. Now, let's take a moment to reflect. Are you finding these lessons valuable? If you're ready to become the kind of person who thrives under pressure, who sees obstacles as opportunities, and who refuses to give up, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Inner Gold. Let's continue this journey to uncover the strength within ourselves, one lesson at a time. Another critical element of the Stoic warrior's mindset is emotional discipline. Think about the last time someone frustrated or angered you. Did you react impulsively? Did you say or do something you later regretted? The Stoic warrior avoids this trap. Instead, they pause, reflect, and respond with reason. Epictetus taught that we are not disturbed by events themselves, but by our judgments of them. A harsh word from someone isn't inherently damaging, it's our interpretation of that word that gives it power. The Stoic warrior practices detachment, observing their emotions without being controlled by them. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, it means mastering them. Imagine someone cutting you off in traffic. The immediate impulse might be anger, but the Stoic warrior pauses and reframes the situation. Perhaps that person is in a rush for an emergency. Perhaps it's not worth letting a fleeting moment ruin your peace. Emotional discipline doesn't come easy, but with practice, it becomes second nature. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This realization is what sets the Stoic warrior apart. They never give external events the power to dictate their inner world. What about you? How often do you let emotions control your actions? Reflect on this as we continue to explore what it means to become unstoppable. The path isn't easy, but it's worth it. Another cornerstone of the Stoic warrior's mindset is radical acceptance. This doesn't mean passivity or resignation. Instead, it's about acknowledging reality as it is, without denial or resistance, and choosing how to respond. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, "You must accept the present circumstances and work with what you've been given." Think about the things you cannot change: past mistakes, someone else's behavior, or unexpected challenges. Resistance to these realities only creates unnecessary suffering. Acceptance, on the other hand, frees you to focus on what you can control: your actions, your perspective, and your attitude. Radical acceptance doesn't mean you condone bad behavior or give up on improving your life. It means you stop wasting energy on things outside your control. For the Stoic warrior, this is essential. They channel their energy into what matters, like improving themselves or taking meaningful action, rather than dwelling on frustrations or regrets. Here's a modern example. Imagine losing a promotion at work. The initial reaction might be anger or self-doubt. But what would the Stoic warrior do? They would acknowledge the disappointment, reflect on what they could learn from the situation, and redirect their efforts toward personal growth or new opportunities. They would see it as a stepping stone, not a failure. One of the most powerful practices for building this mindset is the Stoic exercise of amor fati, the love of fate. It's not just about accepting what happens, it's about embracing it fully, even the hardships. Epictetus taught that everything in life happens for us, not to us. This doesn't mean we ignore pain or challenges, it means we see them as part of a greater plan, an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. This practice might sound idealistic, but it's transformative. Instead of saying, "Why me?" the Stoic warrior says, "What can I learn from this?" Imagine how much more resilient you'd be if you approached every obstacle with that mindset. If this resonates with you, now is the perfect time to take a step forward. Subscribe to the Inner Gold and join our community of modern warriors. By liking this video, you're helping spread these timeless lessons to others who are searching for strength and clarity in their lives. Let's continue with one more key trait of the Stoic warrior, the commitment to virtue. For the Stoics, virtue isn't just about morality, it's about living in alignment with your highest values, no matter the circumstances. Whether faced with adversity, success, or conflict, the Stoic warrior asks, "Am I acting with courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom?" In a toxic argument, For instance, the Stoic warrior doesn't stoop to insults or anger. Instead, they maintain their integrity, choosing reason over retaliation. In moments of temptation, they ask themselves if short-term pleasure is worth compromising their long-term values. Living virtuously is not about perfection, it's about striving. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that life's challenges were tests of his character. He saw every difficult moment as a chance to prove his commitment to living well. This dedication to virtue is what makes the Stoic warrior unstoppable. They don't rely on external validation or fleeting rewards, their strength comes from within, built on the unshakable foundation of their values. Ask yourself, what are the virtues that guide your life? Are you living in alignment with them, even when it's hard? Reflect on this, and remember, the path to becoming a Stoic warrior isn't about grand gestures. It's about small, consistent choices to live with integrity and strength every single day. The final element of the Stoic warrior's mindset is resilience, the ability to adapt, endure, and thrive in the face of adversity. Life will test you. It will throw challenges your way that feel insurmountable, but the Stoic warrior sees these moments as opportunities to build strength and character. Marcus Aurelius described it best when he said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle is a chance to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Every failure is a lesson disguised as hardship. Imagine a storm raging against a sturdy tree. The branches may sway, the leaves may scatter, but the roots hold firm. The Stoic warrior is that tree. Resilience doesn't mean you don't feel the winds of life, it means you stand strong, knowing they cannot uproot you. One way to cultivate this resilience is through gratitude, even for the difficult moments. The Stoics believed in thanking the universe for every experience, good or bad, because each one shapes who we are. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When you start viewing hardships as gifts, you unlock a power that most people never discover. So, the next time you face rejection, disappointment, or failure, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? That mindset is the essence of the Stoic warrior, a refusal to let life storms break your spirit. Now, let's talk about legacy. The Stoic warrior doesn't just live for themselves, they aim to leave the world better than they found it. Whether it's through acts of kindness, sharing wisdom, or simply living as an example of resilience and integrity, their impact echoes beyond their lifetime. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet his writings reveal a man more focused on living virtuously than wielding power. His legacy isn't his title, it's his wisdom, passed down through generations, teaching us how to face life with courage and grace. And you can create that legacy, too. By embodying the principles we've explored, acceptance, discipline, virtue, and resilience, you become a force for good in the world. You inspire others, and not by your words but by your actions.